live stream that we do here covering the markets, latest news, M&A and OTC deals that are most relevant to all of you. Hopefully, interesting stuff for you guys that are tuning in. Doing Thursday instead of Friday, trying to mix it up a little bit, just kind of seeing how the algorithms boost this. We've just noticed that Friday, people aren't in the mood to sit and watch a live stream. They're ready to get into their weekend. So thinking maybe do this Thursday might be a little more relevant, a little more, catch a little more, few more people's attention. But market's starting to show little signs of life, kind of rebounding a little bit after testing the bottoms again there. Nvidia earnings came out. Will that be enough to save us? Andrew, how we looking? What's going on in the charts today?
It's looking much better than the last few weeks, that's for sure.
Is this the bottom?
Is this the bottom? I don't know. Maybe. Let's
tell us to buy right now.
Our news. Tell us what to do.
I will tell us once we hit 1,000 viewers. No, it looks good. I mean, it's still very early. Like, we just got a little bounce back, right? So most of this reversal was just on the Nvidia earnings, and it's just funny because, like, you know, we talked about how, like, most of this S&P is like, and then Nasdaq or whatever, it's all like, it's just the Mag 7 that's really like controlling the price. And so, like, Nvidia, Google, a couple of the AI companies perked up a bit, and so we finally came out of this, like, you know, like three weeks of selling almost there. The thing is like, we do have these working double tops now. You know, we are broken down. Weeklies, you know, weeklies are starting to show signs of weakness as well. You know, double tops, you can see them kind of all around. So I do think, like, you know, a little bit of like a dead cat bounce would be kind of normal. You know, if we do start coming back up to these original highs, then, you know, short reload zones are kind of like where we're going to be targeting, right against these original highs right here. 38.2s are going to be your first stop. So if we fail against here, most likely just take a bounce. And as you can see, we left a pretty big gap here that's going to be needing to be filled eventually. So still not quite out of the weeds, but I think at least, like, we're finally getting a little bit of a reversal here. Really got to see how the U.S. opens tonight. Yeah, I mean, if it's really just the Nvidia earnings that's holding this market together, like, I don't think that's a long-term solution and sustainable.
Well, I think what Nvidia, if anyone went through Nvidia's numbers and so forth, they have a lot of receivables at the moment. So I think whoever is doing their accounting, which would be probably an AI, they should do the same thing with the U.S. government. They should hire the same U.S. Accounting firm to do the same thing for the U.S. government and play with the numbers. But yeah, like, I do think some of the numbers that Nvidia came out with doesn't make any sense. But I don't know. Maybe I'm too noobish to understand actually what's happening.
Yeah, hard to say, but they definitely beat their earnings expectations. So that's why you're getting the euphoric market overnight. Is it going to last? Hard to say. I mean, I'm still a little bit bearish overall. You know, these weekly charts are not very pretty. And, you know, you look at the US dollar is back on the rise. It looks like US dollar wants to really break out. So let's see how that resolves. VIX is climbing up as well a bit. So a bit of volatility. And generally when VIX starts pumping here, you know, you should expect to see a bit of nukes in the markets. So yeah, watch for the structure on these futures. If we do start putting in double bottoms like we did back here, then I do think this bearish structure then becomes invalidated, and then we can kind of resume to the upside. If we do not get any kind of like bullish structure and we start failing here, then I do think we should expect lower prices. So critical level here, mostly just wait and see if we get any kind of, you know, bullish structures like double bottoms, fractals, inside bars, etc. So that's what I see on the equity side. For the crypto, We are finally in this reload zone. We are slow. It looks like the selling's kind of slowing down a little bit here. We do have these potential bull divs still trying to form and build, still coiling. But again, we still have to get above this neckline. So still quite a long way, but as you can see, it is starting to coil back up slowly. We are quite oversold, which is good to see. And we're in the reload zone. So all we're really missing, in my opinion, is just a double bottom. And I think we're slowly trying to see if we can consolidate and try to build one. That would be the ideal situation. If we get a double bottom within the zone, I do think that's probably a decent setup there. Probably that'll pop out.
In the stream, delete everything.
It's okay. It's my old address. They can't do anything anyways. I don't know why I did that. That's so weird.
They can filter
it. Okay, here we go. We're back. So we just gotta wait till we get those double bottoms. I think if we go on the lower time frame, you could probably maybe try to see some kind of swings, but until then, just have to wait. But I do feel a little bit more positive than we did last few streams. I do feel like we're getting closer and closer. So yeah, hopefully we can get something there. Ethereum's also still a little bit away from that reload zone. I kind of really hope that we were going to get into that zone. But unfortunately, might not get that. So if anything, if we do start getting double bottoms here, we'll get that bullish divergence coming in on the MACD. We are oversold as well. So I do feel like we're getting closer to some kind of pivot. Seems like the momentum signals are starting to shift. We're getting closer to like location for Ethereum. And then all it's really missing is a double bottom. So even if we just get a decade bounce back to these 30.2s, we can get some nice little swing trades in between there, hopefully. So, yeah. Just have to wait. I mean, at this point, but looking more bullish than.
So what are you saying here? That we should be buying at least BTC and Ethereum we should be waiting?
No, you clearly were not listening to anything I said. No, I said we're getting closer
long right now. Stamp it.
We're getting closer to a setup. Okay. Like we have like the location for Bitcoin. We're getting momentum signals confirmation. We're still missing bullish divergences for Bitcoin, and we're missing double bottom. So we're missing structure. Okay. So once we get structure, I think that will be the setup. Once we get the double bottom within this zone. And then for Ethereum, the same thing with Ethereum, where I would actually ideally like one more step lower into that 61.8 level at least, but we might not get that. So what I'm saying is like if we start printing these double bottoms here, that's probably going to be like your setup. And I think, these like bullish divergences that are building up, they should confirm. And then that will give us like the confidence that like, okay, we should at least get some kind of pullback or pushback, at least up to like these 30.2s, hopefully. So still waiting for double bottoms, but it's looking more and more, hopeful. We still have to consolidate. So I'm not saying it's a buy here, but I'm saying it's like, it looks like it's starting to like get closer to some kind of setup.
So I guess waiting still. Wait game is the best game.
Breaking.
Yeah, like I like structure, Like you could just blindly buy like levels and shit, like go for it. Like I don't care. Do what you want. But like for me, like I want these confirmations, right? Like I want location, I want momentum, and I want structure. Once I have all three, then I'm like ready to be like, okay, this could be a setup. Otherwise you're just like blindly buying and you're like, oh, if you hit, you hit. But then, it's the whole like playing roulette. So, like just because you hit it doesn't mean you're a genius, right? So right now, looking at the alt indexes, as you can see, stablecoin dominance, we had quite a big push up. But as you can see, it is slowly starting to curve. If we can break that neckline there and put in like a bit of a double top here, we could put in these double bottoms in these indexes. And then I could see the alts starting to come back to life as well. Still a little early, like I said, with all these things. But I do think like we are getting closer to some kind of pivot. It's been a relentless selling. We're at extreme fear. It's only a matter of time before something has to, reverse. So let's see. Until we get those structures, it's hard to say. And then looking at alts, like most of them are still just kind of like bleeding lower.
We're going to the VIX, man. We're going to the VIX like we talked before. I think the VIX are going to be the bottom.
The tails. Yeah, the tails. Yeah. No, I agree. I do think eventually it's going to have to touch all of these bottoms, which isn't what we want to see. But if you're lucky, like something like Manta, for example, it's putting in double bottoms, right? So what I see is like a lot of these like random like old coins are like blowing up. You get like sometimes like what was it like Stark's been like flying recently. Blah, blah, blah. Oh my god, why is it making me do this again? So weird.
It's hacked. Got hacked.
They think I'm a professional trader. These streams are costing me, bro.
On your doubles and triples.
Apparently, I've hit too many. But yeah, like I'm starting to see like all these like random fucking coins starting to move again. And I think like your best bet are the ones that have these double bottoms, right? I like Solana, for example. Like you got a little double bottom trying to play here. You're in the reload zone, got the bullish divergence, you got the oversold conditions. So all you got to do is hope for the best. You see your setup, try it. If it doesn't work, move on to the next. Took some shots there. Just a small little position, nothing too heavy. I'm still like cautiously kind of playing. I did buy some Manta as well. I really like the double bottom consolidation that was coming in here. Technically at the bottom of the range here now, right? Like that's pretty washed. You're definitely better than buying up here. You're actually buying at the bottom. So I'm pretty comfortable with this position now. And, you got some bullish divergences. You were oversold here, oversold there. A lot of big volume coming in. So I do think this one can probably run. But shit, anything can happen.
This is just because of the earnings yesterday.
Yeah. Well, these alts have been like kind of like trying to form bottoms for the most part. For the last like week and a bit, like, you're seeing like random shit, like even like Tensor, right? Like they're making this market extremely freaking hard to trade. Like to like be able to catch that bottom is like literally impossible. Like you would have to have like some kind of inside information to be able to do that. But you see how like the market cleans itself up, pretty much cleans and eats all of the tail, and then it finally bottoms. So I think that's what we're seeing in a lot of these names, is that like it has to clean a lot of this like nasty tail that it left behind, and then they're like manipulating the market or whatever you want to call it, and just doing these massive pumps. So you're gonna see that across a lot of different names, which is kind of worrisome. It's always a bad omen when you start seeing like just random shit just pumping. But it also makes sense because we're in extreme here.
I think this is part of the game. This is always like that. Like we have bear market, and then you have these crazy VIX. I think there are inside traders, obviously.
Yeah, just like open dumps, But yeah, like it's like for most alts, like still looks like ass out there. Doesn't look like overly great, but the very few that you do start seeing these like little double bottoms, at least at the bottom of the ranges, I do think you can probably try to like hit them, and your risk is in those a lot smaller than buying something way up.
We have a request for Jupiter.
Jupiter, okay. Jupiter. I actually like that Pengu chart. Still looks like ass. I don't know. I mean, still got a long way to clean that tail up there. I think if you start putting in a W here, you could try to hit it. More of a V bottom at the moment still. But you want to look for like these like kind of like consolidations like this. Despite this one failed, still want to like look at something like that kind of like sideways consolidation, or at least these like W's, right? So still pretty early there. I think still got time to wait. Yeah. So mostly just Manza, Solana. I think I bought some Pendle as well. Just kind of liking Pendle right against these lows on an 88.6. Potentially got a double bottom here. Pretty much really early still. I mean, technically the entry's there, but you know, sometimes I break my own rules and pay for it later. But yeah, I mean, we're quite oversold here too. So I do feel like if we do get some kind of pull, like rally here, like whether it's a dead cat bounce, I just want to be in my positions here. So yeah, I think hype was also looking pretty decent. I like the range it's sitting at. You know, like we're still like technically at like top of range here. But if we're just going off of like these lows, these highs, and then, you know, these lows and these highs, this is where you would expect to see, you know, bulls step in and try to form. There is a potential double bottom trying to build here. We technically have a bullish diversion still active and live. So yeah, I bought some more here and yeah, see if that works out.
When you're buying at the moment, like, are you buying in size or are you buying in?
No, like I'm doing like 1 to 2% on my portfolio in each of these.
Okay.
Like like I said, I'm going very slow just because like I'm still like I still feel very bearish about the market, but wow, that thing's starting to really run now. Shit.
God damn.
I move markets, man. People see my trades and everyone hops in. So it's that's what happens. But yeah, like I do think we should expect to see some positive rallies here, but just praying that Bitcoin ETH doesn't like start shitting the bed. Like that's the problem with these alts is like they're so volatile. That's why I'm just doing these like 2-to-1 risk reward trades, doing like, you know, 1 to 2%. Normally I would go up to like 5%, but I'm very cautious right now because I just been getting blown out, like stopped out quite often recently. Like even in Athena recently, I got stopped out, which was annoying because that was actually a really nice setup. But now it's starting to look like, I don't know, I might try to set up another bottom here. You know, we've got the bullish divergence now. You know, we are oversold. We're right against the bottom of the range, right against these previous. This is kind of the last bottom that I kind of printed. So, you know, if we start printing double bottoms here, I will be tempted to hit this trade again. This one's already been stopped out, so, you know, kind of sucks, but you just got to try again, you know. Hopefully it's not like
you're gonna try until you don't have any money left, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Like it's like, yeah, you could have bought this W, probably would have hit your 2-to-1 there. This one was not quite a W there. This one was stopped out. This one was stopped out. So I got stopped out on both of these back to back, which was annoying. So this third time the charm. I think if we do get that double bottom, I am gonna try again. Because I do think Athena is a pretty good and a strong name. So, I don't know. I think still possible, right?
There's a big hype unlock coming
Yes,
soon.
I know.
What's your opinion about that? Actually, what are the pages we use for unlocks nowadays? Is it CryptoRank or something else?
Isn't it like token unlocks? I think people still use token unlocks now. It's been a while. I haven't looked at this kind of stuff in a while. I personally don't care. I think the market's probably already front runned it, in my opinion. But let's see.
I have it here.
Oh, okay.
Let me share my screen quickly. What's the best way to invest? I want to invest in crypto. I'm not sure what to do. Yeah,
I think
that's a good question.
Your first thing you should do is understand and learn what a trading plan is. Okay, so make sure you get that first. and then look into like what is a trading setup. How do you build a trading setup? How do you validate a trading setup? And then do those two things first before you invest any real money. Otherwise, you're asking to get hurt. Even once you do have a trading plan and trading setup, you're still going to end up getting hurt. But at least you're like cushioned in this sense mentally. So yeah, I think the best way to invest is just first invest in yourself, get some education. There's a lot of free resources online. You can always message us as well. I can always try to help and answer some questions. But before you invest money, always educate yourself first. So trading plan, trading setup.
I do
Those are
agree.
your
This is the unlock. So actually, in December, there's gonna be a ton of unlocks happening. Let's see, and it's good to see always 7 days after the unlocks what will happen. But basically, what I think we spoke about this last time is that if there's a big unlock coming, you should buy, and then 2 days after, 3 days after, sell. I can't remember what was the strategy, but it does make sense that all these bigger layer ones and layer twos, they have a lot of money and they spend usually a lot of marketing just before a big unlock happens. So, but it's definitely been a great strategy also to just short. But the funding fees could be quite high if you are doing 1 month or 2 months before.
Yeah.
And size.
I'm so scared of leverage now. I've blown up my account twice already. I'm like, fuck, dude, I can't touch leverage. It's just so annoying. It's too volatile with like altcoins, man. Fuck, can't do it.
Well, this is a pretty good understanding. So daily unlocks. Some of them have $2 to $3 million daily. That's pretty. That's quite a lot, to be honest.
Oh, wow.
But anyway, let's move forward. I want to share the crypto fear and greed. So we are now officially all-time low in the whole year. Actually, in 2 years' time, which is kind of astonishing. We didn't have any big breakup or anything else. We just had one big event that basically flushed everyone out. But yeah, it's been very devastating. Like I never seen crypto Twitter so negative as now.
Yeah, every day I'm on crypto Twitter. It's like, yo, I'm done, suicide or like some bullshit. Like, yeah, it's definitely fearful. Even like a lot of the traders that I talk to, or even like VCs that I know, everybody's kind of gearing up for this like bear market scenario. But the old expression is like buying when they're crying, selling when they're yelling. And so I think that's why we're starting to see a lot of these like coins trying to form some kind of bottom here. Because again, we're at extreme fear. Like, how much more fearful can we get from here? I don't know.
It's been really bad. And if you look at the BTC and like overall ETF flows, they've been very negative, very, very, very negative. And I think BlackRock has been selling almost all month now, which is not great. But obviously, they have a big percentage of the total. So,
yeah. Well, it makes sense for them, take some profits, clean up their books for year end. I'm sure they did pretty well buying quite early on. But yeah, I mean, that's definitely like more sell pressure. We need Michael Saylor to freaking save us. Michael Saylor, please put in a $10 billion freaking buy order.
Ethereum has been also pretty bad, to be honest. Quite negative flows. But yeah, let's see. I'm pretty stoked to see what will happen after December next year. But surprised, Solana has been getting more and more close.
Oh, really? Interesting. Solana looks good though. Like, and personally, like in my opinion, I think like the chart, it's like it's really trying to bottom. Bullish divergence, double bottoms. All the indicators are there. So I do feel like they're trying to push Solana, but let's see.
Yeah.
I got my setup in there, so yeah. Wow, we hit 103 viewers today. Crazy. I think that's the most we've had. It's
Yeah.
climbing.
Another thing, it's been the worst Q4 in 7 years. So all you guys that are complaining and saying like, "Hey, oh my God, we haven't made any money," it's been very hard, to be honest. Like this quarter has been extremely bad for crypto. Like the October 10th that flushed almost everyone out, been not good, not at all.
Wow. Crazy.
Yeah. But what are you predicting for Q1 next year or in January?
Fuck. It's hard to say, man. I hate this prediction game, but you know, I think like generally Christmas, New Year's, you get a bit of a rally. So I'm really like hoping that we get a big push. Especially like after this like massive like washout, like it technically would make sense for the markets to kind of rally. So I want to be positive for Q1. For Q2, I'd be bearish. And then Q3, Q4, probably back to being bullish because of the midterms. But man, it's like it's anyone's guess at this point. I think we'll know if we get those like weekly W's on those charts. That's kind of what we want to see. And yeah, I think we just kind of got to go like.
I hope 2026 will not be like 2022. Oh, only red month.
That would be sad. Like also looking at Benner cycle, right? Like the Benner cycle is saying like 2026 is supposed to be like the peak year for profit taking. So generally when that happens, it's like things kind of like blow up, do really well, and then the euphoria kind of like falls off. So I'm praying that we do get a bullish 2026. But again, just kind of have to wait and see.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I have a lot of stories today. This was test run for us. I think it's still.
Yeah, where did Nathan go? What the hell?
I think he had some emergency he has to go to.
Okay.
But I think this is basically a good meme to end our live show today. Anyone feeling down, just think of this picture.
Oh my God. Yeah, damn. So this is how like fearful the market is right now. I think that's why we're starting to see things kind of starting to rally again. It's like there's been so much downward pressure that there has to be like this release, you know? And so I think like we have a pretty good window here for at least some of these names to come back. Like, the best thing is like look for the W's, guys. You find the double bottoms along the bottom of the ranges, and those are going to be kind of like your best bets. Like you can already see like things are trying to form bottoms, right? That's kind of like what you want to look for. Pump, people remember Pump, good old Pump Fund. I think if Pump Fund starts putting in a W, that's going to be a decent trade. The fact that it bounced off that 78.6 shows a pretty good sign that the bulls are still here to try to defend. And I've always liked these reload zones, so it's kind of what I'm looking for. But yeah, man, I think if you're lucky, you hit one of these big runners. That's the goal that everyone's trying to aim for. Yeah, fuck, it's crazy. It's like even Kaito did a full wash. I think Kaito eventually should rally. Do people even use Kaito anymore? I remember this being super popular.
I think people are still using Kaito, no? People are yapping or whatever.
Yeah, not too sure, but bottom of the range now, finally. Nice cleanup. If we get that double bottom back up here, I would love to pick some of that up there. Let's look at Link. Ooh, Link actually looks pretty fucking good here. We are slowly trying to build a double bottom here. We got potential bull dips forming on the MACD. We're quite oversold. and we're right along the reload zone, right along this 78.6. That's kind of like what I want to look for. If you're a levels guy, you can just kind of buy the 78.6. I generally like to wait for structure. So I'm going to keep this on my monitor list, probably on my hot list. If we do get some kind of double bottom, I will most likely buy some more of that. I've always liked Linked, so I think it's a good and solid name to try to add there. Yeah. But yeah, that's all I have really for charts. I think there's a few picks that I had that I picked up today, and monitoring like Aave, Link, some of these bigger blue chip stuff, and yeah, waiting for those double bottoms because I do feel like the market's trying to put in some kind of bottom here now. It's kind of interesting.
I would buy long term, to be honest. They have a good new app coming along, and
yeah,
a lot of their TVL has been growing. But I think it's good to end our podcast here. I think Nathan had to go to some emergency thing.
I know.
But yeah, let us know feedback about what you guys think of Thursdays instead of Fridays. We'll try to adjust, and we are trying to also look for new guests and basically do more of these live streams.
Yeah, I think it'd be cool to have some like industry people coming onto our show. Maybe we can kind of go through their expertise, whether it be like market trends. We know a lot of different like market makers, exchanges, companies that have done acquisitions. It would be cool insight on for everybody, I think. So I think moving forward, we're going to be getting some cool special guests coming on